Welcome to the Kingdom-Minded Mompreneur, where we, Becky
and Monique, your new biz besties, both busy moms just like you.
We're here to talk all things network marketing, mom life, and how to truly live out your calling. We'll be dropping 2 episodes each week to help you, the busy mompreneur, know the exact strategies to build both your business and your home. You'll hear each week from one of the top network marketers on their best tips for what's led to their success and what's working now.
We know that you're here because you are called to something more. You have a desire to succeed in both your business and at home, and we are going to teach you how. If you love what you hear here on the podcast and want to be one of our success stories, join us inside our community, the Kingdom-Minded Mompreneur, where we provide a daily social media action plan, additional resources, kingdom coaching, and more. Click the show notes for the link to join. So let's get into the episode.
Hello, and welcome back to another podcast episode of the Kingdom-Minded Mompreneur. We are so excited you're here. I know time is our most precious currency. So the fact that you are spending some of it with us, we are so grateful. And I think today you're in for a treat because we have really unlocked, I think, this sacred process, in my opinion, of how to have success when you are just like literally all over the place, right? Like just a busy mama, no matter what season, whether you are up in the middle of the night, nursing a baby, trying to work your business, responding to messages at like 3 a.m. because I've totally been there. Or your kids are all in sports like Monique. Monique, I'm sure you can relate. How many places do you feel like you go in a week? Like,
Well, I have a driver now. So
that's true.
I know, it has been a game changer. And it's
so
funny
wild.
because he got grounded and he lost his driving privileges.
And you're like, no.
I know. I realized, I was like, okay, I can't go back on what I said, but I was like, I really need him to get his car back.
Moving forward, we need a different punishment.
Yes. I'm like, yes, I know. Note to self, like mom note. Yeah, I am driving all over the place because I have 3 boys, 3 teenagers. And so with sports and parties and youth group and all the things,
Oh, my word. I know.
Yes.
So yeah, it's mom life is crazy. So add into it, right? Like the mompreneur life. So whether you are working outside the home and still being a mom, right? Because it's like there's no change in responsibilities. Like, whatever, whether you're a teacher or a nurse or have an office job, and you have like a side hustle, you're trying to figure out like, how do I build this? Or you are homeschooling and you feel like you've got like 17 kids every day, even though you only have 3, and they're just like always there, right? You're like, how in the world? I need a minute to work my business and like talk to other adults and do these IPAs, right? It's like, what in the world, how can I master this and see success? And many times we see other people out there who are doing the thing, right? You see yourself visually walking their journey. You're like, man, like if they can do it, I can do it. But like, what is it that they're doing, right? And so today we are going to share with you a formula for how to build a business in 60 minutes a day. And what I love about this is that it's not some get rich overnight, like, here, let's teach you how to go viral. Not that there's anything wrong with that. Like, awesome, pat on the back, like super cool if you've been able to master that. But that is not the norm, right? The norm is trying to figure out how to get up on time, pack lunches, drinking enough water, eating healthy, exercise, cooking dinner for your family, getting everyone to sports. And oh, by the way, like nowadays you can make money online and okay, cool. Oh, you're getting in your late 30s. You should probably start thinking about retirement, right? Like there's a lot. Okay. Like there's a lot. And we hope that at the end of this episode, you feel this sense of peace, of clarity, because people very often would ask me, Becky, okay, what is it? What is the key? What is the secret sauce, right? That led to your success in the industry. And I always said, and I will still, until I am in the ground, I will say consistency. Consistency was and is my superpower. I mean, showing up on the days that you don't want to show up. And not to say, rest is not important, but I think if you follow this formula and you are consistent, I mean, I can guarantee you your life and your business will look drastically different in 90 days. I mean, I could almost guarantee it.
So before we get into this, Becky, could you share with people about our community? Because I feel like the people who are listening, like you guys, if you are listening to this podcast, you are most likely a social seller that's trying to figure out, how can I do all the things? Like, how can you do what you need to do to grow your business? And that is why we created the Kingdom Minded Mompreneur community. So could you tell our listeners a little bit more about that?
Yeah. So what I love about this is, well, for starters, what it stands for. It is for the mom who says, I see this vision for my life. I see what is available within my company and my compensation plan. But I also, right, like want to build out this legacy and be present with my kids and within my home. And, what does that look like? And building out the kingdom, right? And how the calling that God has on your life. And so we were kind of thinking through, the mompreneur and that stress of when you sit down to work, because you are already juggling so many other things and mentally, I mean, just even like, oh, Christmas party, the time of this recording, like I had to remember, for my daughter, like, oh, I had to send in a book wrapped for her Christmas party. It's like stuff,
Oh,
just all these
girl.
little things, and you're
Last
like,
night,
oh, I can't
I
keep
have to
up.
tell you this.
Yeah.
So last night, my kids are like, hey, we have to wear Christmas pajamas tomorrow. And I said, yeah, this was like after dinner. I'm like,
Oh my goodness.
tomorrow? I said, did they not tell you this like 2 weeks ago?
Already? Yeah.
They're like, no, they just told us today. So
Oh
anyway,
my
we,
word.
we understand. I'm sharing that because
Yes.
we get it. It's like
It's
mom
like
life can be
all the
crazy.
things. Yes. It's overwhelming sometimes. And so our goal is to help the busy mom who recognizes she has this calling from God. She wants to really build up her business, have a daily action plan. How do I show up? The support of what to post on social media every single day. Okay. So social media captions, a list of IPAs. There's goal setting included in this PDF that we give to our members every single month. There's devotionals for each week. There's just a ton of goodness inside of it. And it truly is the thing that I wish I had. I mean, I really do. I love that it's something we're proud of. I mean, the first one we published, I literally was like, I could cry. Like, this is so good. It was like the sense of pride, of like, we're creating something that everyone needs. Like everyone
And
needs.
people get results with it.
Yes. Yeah. So super exciting. So much goodness. You can click the link in the show notes if you want to join us. It's only $47 a month, you guys. Like that is a game changer. That is worth it. I'm like, here, take $50. I go into Target for 10 minutes and I spend that. So it's like, invest in your business because this is going to give you the support as well as the community. We have weekly Kingdom coaching from a certified coach who has done the thing, has adult children now. So she's in this season where she can, look back and say, hey, learn from my mistakes, or here's what has helped me. Here are the things that led to, these thriving adults in society. And just so many other things, Canva templates, just all the things. It's just so exciting. And you are going to want to get inside. So
yes,
about that, let's share the meat.
Okay, I know you guys are waiting. They're like, can you just tell us how to build our business in 60 minutes a day? Okay, so we're going to give you a framework where you can literally block off 1 hour a day. You guys try that. If you don't believe us, try it out. Okay, because we have a lot of people who follow the system that we're teaching and they have great success. So if you can find 1 hour a day, so the very first thing that you need to do is you need to figure out where you're going to find your hour. So does this look like you waking up an hour earlier? Does this look like you taking a 30-minute lunch break and staying up 30 minutes later? Does this look like you breaking it up into 4 15-minute increments? Like, you decide where you are going to find your hour, but find your hour and do it consistently. Okay. Follow this formula consistently and see what happens in your business. So we are going to break this down into 4 15-minute increments. Okay. So like I said, you can power through it or you can find ways to divide up the time. So the very first one, the first 15 minutes is going to be 15 minutes of relationship building. Okay. So you can set a timer and you can say, all right, for the next 15 minutes, I'm going to connect with people. I'm going to build relationships with people. This could be, I'm going to give you practical examples of, you go on Facebook, you look and see whose birthday it is, and you send a genuine happy birthday message to every single person who is on the birthday list. And you say, hey, I just saw it was your birthday. What are you doing to celebrate? I hope you have a wonderful day. Something meaningful. This could also be you connecting with the people who maybe you have some people that you think, man, they would be ideal on my team. They would be like my dream team members. And so can you connect with them? Can you start a conversation with them? Can you be relational with those people? This could also be in person. If you're sitting at the ball field and, maybe your personality is introverted and you're more likely to retreat and kind of sit by yourself, what if you took that time and you went and sat with other people, or you introduced yourself to other moms, or you just started conversations with people and you were intentional and relational? So remember that relationship building is the key to building your business. You are in a social selling business that is based on relationships. It's based on relationships. And so you have to be able to do that. And after you connect with people, you also want to make sure that you're inviting people to the business opportunity. Is this the first day you meet them? No, we have a whole system that we teach in our coaching program. But, you want to build that relational equity. But at some point, you want to talk to them about inviting them to your team or sharing what it is that you're doing. And if it's something that can be a blessing to them, you want to be able to offer that to them, but you want to spend 15 minutes a day on relationship building. Okay. Number 2 is your social media. So taking 15 minutes a day to show up online. You guys, I guarantee if you went back to your social media and you did an audit on yourself, okay, so don't stop the podcast, but afterwards you can go back and look at it and go look at your own Facebook, go look at your own Instagram and scroll back 2 weeks and ask yourself, how consistently have you shown up? Because you might think you're showing up every day, but it might be like every 4 days. Like, seriously.
Or
you
they're
might
showing
think,
up looking for viral sounds, like trending audio. And the next thing they know, they've been watching Reels or TikTok or something for like
yes,
2 hours, right?
yes. It's funny. I told Becky that, we were working on our project, working on something, launching our membership, and I like kicked the family out. I was like, all right, guys, I'm super busy this week. Like, nobody can, interrupt me or whatever. So my husband walks in the room and I'm watching puppy reels. He's like, Monique, you have kicked the whole family out. And I come in here and you're scrolling reels. Somehow my algorithm has like picked up that I'm like, a dog person. And
Yes.
so that's all that it shows me is like these. Anyway, I'm going off on a tangent, but my point
That's
is
hilarious.
that if you audit your social media without getting distracted with all the reels and all of the other things, it is very easy to get distracted, but go look at your own social media and ask yourself, is it clear what you do? Like, if someone came to your page, do they see you as a professional? Do they see you as a network marketing professional? Do they understand what it is that you do? Do they understand what you offer? Do they understand that there's a business opportunity connected with what you do? If somebody is sitting there at home Googling how to make an extra $500 a month or how to work from home, do they know that they can contact you? Because if you're not using your social media in that way, you're missing out. And if you think about a brick and mortar store, if someone has a brick and mortar store, they're showing up, like they're opening up their doors every day. They're showing up, they're going to work, they're making sure something's in the window display, they're making sure, people understand what their business is and that they're open for business. And so your social media, and it's not any different. And so you have to make sure that other people, when they come to your page, that they know how they can do business with you. And so this could be something as simple as showing up every single day. It could be as little as one post a day. And that's really what we do with the social media action plan that we provide in our Kingdom Minded Mompreneur membership is we give our clients exactly what to post every single day, but you really have to be consistent.
Yeah. And I think too, part of the reason why I love it is it gives them the confidence for what to say. Because I think some people too are like, okay, I'll post every day on social media, but like you're posting a picture of like your cat or, some random thing, which I don't hate on the cat pictures. Like we're totally animal people. So we understand, which is why she was getting all those viral puppy reels. But the point is, you've got to be consistent. You've got to be known for something, right? And so it's like, what do you want to be known for? What do you want to be the go-to for? So yeah, for sure. Social media in today's world still needs to be a priority. And if you have been ignoring it, well, it's high time you caught on to the times because it's not going anywhere. So number 3 is developing leaders. And so in my opinion, just watching my own paycheck increase, as well as other areas of my own life, like my confidence and, just like my own well-being and things that I was able to do and experience and become, were so closely related to developing leaders. And what I mean by that is, and it looks different kind of, I guess it looks different in every company. You have different titles and stepping stones. But at the end of the day, when I think about developing leaders, I think about you walking beside someone who you are only 2 or 3 steps ahead of, right? And you might even be 15 or 20 steps ahead of, but essentially you can begin developing a leader from the minute that you have signed up and received your kit. You can begin pouring into other people and walking beside them and saying, hey, I just did this last week and it worked. Maybe you can try it, right? It's essentially transferring something that has helped you or something that you have learned to another person so that they can grow in a little bit faster, right? Leadership development is a strategy where you're collapsing time, you're accelerating growth, because you are able to help someone learn from quote unquote your mistakes, right? That's this whole like coaching industry in a sense is, developing leaders. And so when you are, thinking through, well, I have all of these things for my own business and blah, blah, blah. I just want you to realize, like, I love the quote from Zig Ziglar where he says, if you help enough other people get what they want, you will get what you want. And so I personally experienced the fact that my income and my impact drastically increased when I was developing leaders, and I think, while there are a million, this is a whole podcast episode, we'll probably have to do another time. While there are a million different ways to do this, my best advice is anyone who wants more with your company, has a bigger vision for their life, start with the question of, if you could have anything, be anything, or do anything, what would your life look like? Starting with that question, because a lot of times people get so wrapped up in the titles in their company that they kind of mistake success with a title. And I don't mean to say, like, don't get me wrong, I'm a carrot chaser. Like, I got to the top of a company. I love the title, love being able to say what I was with the company and what I had earned. But ultimately, your version of success may not be someone else's. And so I just want to encourage you to start with that question, because then you can help them, visualize, okay, what is it that you want out of life? And then how can your company be the vehicle to help them accomplish that? And when they realize what is possible, right? When they begin to have the success with your company, they're not going to let it go, the majority of people, and go chase something else, because they're happy that because of you and because of what they've accomplished, they're able to do X, Y, and Z, right? And so then they'll start thinking bigger, like, what else can I do now?
So can I ask you a question? I love what you just said about, you said your version of success might be different than someone else's. And I think that's a really good thing to point out, because we often talk about like helping someone get to the top and helping someone
Mhm.
rank advance and all this kind of stuff. But that might be one person's version of success.
Yeah.
And for another person, and this actually maybe a lot of you who are listening, is it might be $500 a month. Like if I could
Right.
consistently bring in $500 a month with my social selling business. So what would you say to that person who maybe they're that ambitious, driven leader, and the people on their team, it's like if I could just make an extra $500 a
Mhm.
month, like how does someone lead someone in that way?
Yeah, so I look at it like, as my organization grew in, various companies, I recognized that I wanted everyone to feel supported based on A, where they're at, and B, where they want to go, which is hard, right? When you have the people who are like, I want it all. I want to earn every incentive. I want to get to the top, blah, blah, blah. And then you have this person over here who's like, no, I just want my products free, maybe get some extra money so that I can get a pedicure or whatever, right? And it's like, obviously, those people are going to be coached very differently. But I think the culture that you create embodies this almost like container of people that all are welcome, but you can certainly, make every single person feel like they're contributing to the whole. And so I think a couple of things that I would encourage you to do if you are someone that's like, I want it all, and how can I support my team in that way? How can I still develop leaders without ignoring the people over here who are my true blue? Like they've always been with me, but like they don't really want it all, How can I still support them? And so I would just encourage you to have a couple of touch points throughout the month for each type of person on your team. And so, you're going to have the like new people and the performers. So that's like your first bucket, right? You just kind of have to look at it like putting people in different buckets, right? Or even in different conference rooms, right? Like if you have this like office space visually as your team, and you have like 3 different conference rooms, right? And collectively, you kind of filter people in based on their desires and their goals for their life. And so the first one might be the performers or like the brand new people, the people that probably want a little bit more of your attention. And also just in general, not necessarily about attention, but just they have a desire to grow, right? They just want the knowledge. They want it now. They maybe want to go fast. They're willing to put in the work, or they're brand new and they just have a lot of questions. And so those people, whether you put them in a group, message chat or give them one-on-one access to you, I would just encourage you. These are the people that you really need to consistently be checking in with, right? And I say a group setting, it might be you only have one person on your team. You might be a brand new leader, or have one person that, wants to become a leader. But I think just having some place to connect with them on a regular basis is the priority for that group. The second group would be your people who they're consistent, they contribute, and they maybe want to earn some of the incentives, but they don't really care about the title or chasing the things. And so these people are the people that this is why I think it's really important to have a monthly team meeting or even a weekly opportunity for them to kind of touch base and feel connected to the bigger vision. Because these people, they don't necessarily need as much help and support and coaching, but they want to know what's going on. They want to feel connected. And then you've got your people that are just kind of in that last bucket or conference room, and they're just kind of like, I'm just hanging out, right? And so it's like these people, they might want to know the new promotions or when the new products come out. They want the discount. They'll show up every now and then. And so for these people, I would encourage you, whether you're sending out like a monthly email with like updates to your entire organization or leveraging something like Project Broadcast, where you can text out a monthly message, or like a Monday message. So like they're still hearing from you, but it's not as personalized because they're not as concerned with growing that side of their business. And while yeah, we want to love and encourage. And, I would say use your like team Facebook page or a community group or whatever you're doing to love on your team and offer support. We want everyone to feel that regardless of what it is that they want. But at the end of the day, you do also have to look through the lens of, you know, there's like 2 sides to it, right? The relationships and like the, friendships, but then it's also a business, and it's your livelihood. And so just being very vigilant and protective over your time, I think, is really helpful. And then the final piece to building a business in 60 minutes a day is following up and closing. Like that age-old quote still rings true. The fortune's in the follow-up. Okay. So I just want to encourage you to whatever it doesn't have to look the same as your upline. It doesn't have to look the same as, someone on your team. If you are a digital person, there is a million resources out there, right? Like Genie Chat, like Trello, just a Google, spreadsheet, an Excel sheet, or you're a paper person. You may want to just have a notebook specifically tracking things. But I just think developing some kind of system that you will consistently do, right? And it's got to be something you're comfortable with, because if you're not comfortable with it, you're not going to do it. And just having that mindset of, people are not just going to flock to you. Like, I'm really sorry to say, back in probably 2015, when 16, 17, even 2018, I think, people weren't as aware and savvy in regards to social selling, and you could put something out there and get sales, like one post and get a sales or get a recruit or whatever. And that's not how it is today. I don't know if it's a combination, I think, of a lack of trust. Like, are they trying to, sell me on something, or what, what is it, like questioning, concerning, or just a lack of, overwhelming amount of content, and it's not to say that the industry is saturated, but it kind of is. And so it's like, how can you stand out? Well, the best way, right? Kind of going back to the beginning, if you have a relationship with that person and they have shared with you, hey, someday in the future, blah, 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 now's not the time. Okay. Well, if you forget about that person and you never follow up, 6 months from now, you're going to look online and they're going to be selling something with another company signed up under somebody else. And so I just want to encourage you, that in itself needs to be a huge priority. You need to have some kind of system. I don't care if it's a piece of paper and a pen, whatever it is, just something that you will consistently show up and do, because people are not going to just come to you, flood the doors, sign me up, do this and that. Maybe every now and then, once in a blue moon, but you have got to be vigilant about making those connections and following back up.
Yes, so good. Okay, so to recap, the 4 15-minute tasks are relationship building, social media, developing leaders, and following up and closing. And if you need support for that, we would absolutely love for you to be part of our membership. That is why we created this membership, to give you the exact strategy of, how do I show up and what do I say every single day? So thank you guys for listening to the podcast, and we can't wait to see you on the next episode. Thanks so much for listening to the Kingdom Minded Mompreneur. If you loved what you heard today, could you stop and give us a 5-star rating and review? It helps our visibility on podcasting platforms so others like you can hear more of this message.
Also, if this episode encouraged you, we would love for you to pass it along to your own biz bestie and anyone else who could benefit. Lastly, don't forget that if you want to hang out with us just a little bit more, join us inside the Kingdom Minded Mompreneur community. Click the link in the show notes. Bye for now.